Okay. Clicking the price. Okay. Okay. Okay, I had a bunch of tabs left up from my dissertation work. Getting rid of all of them. Hopefully this will help. I don't know if anyone can tell if things are different. Let's update the score to be 1. No idea how you're supposed to make it white. Still choppy. I mean, it's choppy on my end as well, which is weird. I'm being told to set the priority to high, but that doesn't seem to be something I can actually do. Right, it's not a thing that exists on my end. Is it still bad? I don't think we changed anything in the settings. People want to see the first game again, or rather, Mochaccino is telling me to do the first game again. Maybe just to see how it goes. Okay. Are we getting any lag on the stream? I don't think we're missing anything. So, I'm going to go on to the second game. Or do we want to do the first game all the way through? Zon, I've tried that. There's no priority option. It just doesn't exist. Task manager. I have it open, but setting priority is just not something I can do. Like, it's not even grayed out. It's just not there. Okay, I think we go. Let's move on to the next game before people get too bored. Okay, we got QQ versus Araloo. Game 2. Squirrel Mole, Skunks, Chameleon, Snake, Wolf from QQ. And Araloo sticking with the meta. QQ going more meta himself. Not feeling the QQ deck is going to bring him success. Oh shit, yeah, I do need to do the first game again. For YouTube. Okay, so for real now, let's do the first game. I'll fast forward through a bit of it. Can't I stitch it up? No, because I'm bad at that. I could upload it as 2 separate videos. I mean, let's just take a quick look at this anyway and see where it all went wrong. Because QQ had a good start with the lizards. Picking off a Warren. He nearly picked off this mill. I wonder if he should have committed to it. He did. I don't think Araloo was able to counter push on that. We'll just fast forward through all the bits where they're just waiting. Okay. He does come in, pick off a pig. That was probably... Araloo probably could have just committed there. But I guess he didn't know that Araloo didn't have all his chameleons out. He had a much bigger army. Even with lizards being bad over warrens, he probably could have gone in there and at the very least got more damage done. And then the problem starts around here. QQ can't really find a way in, but he's also not set up for defense. He has no defensive structures up. He's put 180 food into the fox, which on paper should be fine, but he can't hold against this composition. He could hold against just the squirrels, but the chameleons are just too strong. He tries to go in, but he takes it head on. He tries to focus down these squirrels first, which is the way you should do it, but he can't. He can't actually hit all of them. The lizards get too stuck on the chameleons. The only defenses QQ was able to get up in time are too far back to actually help out. And from here, QQ... I mean, he tries to pick off a few units, but he loses a lot of lizards again. And he doesn't even get that chameleon as sort of a bonus. So that chase down kind of worked against him. He had to take some big risks though. And after this he starts setting up for the base race, but Araloo's smart and knows that that's what QQ's going to want to do. So he just parks his army outside the gates and doesn't move until he's sure. It's kind of hindering QQ. I mean, despite the fact that this is a big open map, there's really only one way for the lizards to come in, and it's this way. I mean, it's actually quite a small map overall in terms of area size. It's just a lot of it isn't used up. A lot of it is empty, which usually favours lizards. But there's no path, and here he gets really stuck. He doesn't know that there's no way around. He was hoping to come around here and get back into safe territory, but he couldn't. He got stuck in a corner. He had to just walk through all of Araloo's units. He does get a second mill, but he can't possibly recover from this. And through it all, Araloo was able to just keep building mills and keep putting down farms. He wouldn't have been able to rebuild his army if he ever lost it, but there was no way QQ was ever going to take a fight. Araloo did rally all, which meant that there was a chance for QQ to get in, but rallying all didn't actually matter much because, between the roads giving his units a speed boost and the small distance he had to travel, it was actually perfectly possible for him to cover all of the entrances for a lizard rush. So now let's definitely move on to game 2. This has been a complete shit show of a stream, hasn't it? All the mistakes we started with, and then we had to restart the stream, and then we had to fast forward through game 1 again. But we're getting into new territory now. Both players mole, offensive mole and defensive mole. The offensive mole is going to come out maybe half a second sooner. Is the defensive mole going to be able to defend? QQ doesn't want to sell this farm. He's committed. But I think this farm goes down. He does sell it. He cuts his losses, but that's going to hurt. That's nearly 60 food that QQ lost there. And Araloo is not only going up to 8 farms, but is able to get down an early warren. These very early leads, they have a tendency to start snowballing, especially with moles, because now Araloo is a warren ahead. He forces QQ to sell. QQ knows that the mole rush is coming, knows that something is coming. The moles did get sold, but QQ is now even further behind in economy, as he sold his building farm to put down an extra warren. Araloo is now expanding, which I don't think QQ has scouted. He has not. Now he has. Okay. If this game goes on long enough, then the early game advantage starts to, that 60 food that QQ lost is going to stop mattering. It's going to become a smaller and smaller part of the game. QQ trying to move in with Justice Squirrels, being a bit brave here. Araloo's got enough to defend this. I feel like this is going to backfire in a big way, and it does. That was about 7 squirrels to 9. And the 9 had the defender's advantage. You can see that mill tanked an awful lot of damage. And now, Araloo's going to move in. He's got the moles built. QQ's got the mill to hide behind, and he's got some moles of his own, but I don't know if he'll be able to hold this. He just doesn't have the tempo, and he was already behind. He's losing his forward warren. More moles coming in, and that's game 2 for Araloo. The defensive mole was not quick enough. Let me just update that to 2. Let's go to game 3. Okay, we got Squirrel Mole, Skunk Cam, Snake Wolf against Squirrel Mole, Falcon, Skunk Cam, Snake. Araloo sticking with the meta. Always does. Araloo is known for not mixing up his decks very often. But hey, it works. Araloo is, what's the Bruce Lee saying? Fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks one time. Fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. That's Araloo. He has one kick and he's practiced it to perfection. QQ QQ mixes his decks up more, but he's playing it pretty safe at the moment. Still going with a tier 3, going for Wolf instead of Falcon, which is interesting in itself. I think if I was going to cut a tier 2 out of the meta, I'd probably cut the Chameleons. I think they're the weakest at the moment, but they do synergize very well with the Skunks because they hold units in Skunk Gas really long, and I guess that means they synergize well with the Snakes as well. Okay, Araloo expanding, putting down a quick 2 farms. QQ expanding, probably going to respond in kind. Is he? Oh no, he's going for a tier 2. Araloo playing quite greedy here. He's left himself open to a mole push, but he's correctly predicted that QQ isn't going to go for one. Which is not the prediction I would have made. QQ's been pretty aggressive the last 2 games. He moved in with the Lizards the first game, he moved in with the Squirrels the second. QQ's selling all his tier 1 and now he's the one playing greedy. Is Araloo going to move in? QQ is 10 seconds away from his first Chameleon. He might be able to get away with this. Araloo is going for his own tier 2. Okay, Araloo is now going for Chameleons as well. He's trying to catch up on Eco. He should get there pretty... Yeah, he gets up to 7 farms as well. And Araloo will actually end up ahead for having his tier 2 warrant already built. Oh, we got some moles here. Does Araloo see this? Araloo does not. Okay, this could be big by QQ. Oh, now he sees it. The moles not staying hidden, the moles poking out, and the Skunk Warren surviving. Oh, that is a shame. Okay. So QQ expanding, going up to the 8 farms. And QQ actually wants to move in. Maybe he's faking this. It doesn't look like it would work out for him. Araloo's got a lot more tier 2 up at the moment. And Araloo has a larger variety of tier 2 as well. QQ also has half his army not with him. He's got the Skunks and the Snakes still coming. Okay, he's put down a Wolf. Oh, this is pretty greedy by QQ. Expect Araloo to move in here. The 4 Chameleons from QQ would have been really powerful last meta. Oh, but they're fighting in the water. Can QQ get these Falcons down? There's still one up. There's still a lot of stuff up for Araloo. The Falcon and the Skunk are combining. The Skunk is going to stop all this tier 1 coming up, so QQ's never going to be able to get enough to kill this Falcon. This mill is starting to take a lot of damage. 5 pigs have already gone down on it, so Araloo could leave now, but he's going for more. And QQ surrenders. He doesn't think that he's going to be able to come back from that damage. He's probably correct. Hurts to say, but that was devastating damage. QQ going for the tier 3 at the wrong time and not managing to hit the Falcons. the fight over the water, I think... I mean, it should have been bad for Araloo as well, but because he had falcons, I could ignore it. And most of QQ's army was tied up in the chameleons, which were on foot. I think it actually worked out better for Araloo than for QQ. It hurt QQ more. Okay, so here we go. Game 4. I know the text is still black. The colour doesn't change. Alright. Also, I don't know why you want the text to be white. It's much harder to see. But... yeah. I find black easier, but whatever. I don't find either particularly difficult. It's just I can't actually make it white. Like, the colours don't change at all. Anyway, focusing on the game, QQ has given in and has gone to the meta. Tier 3 is so hard to get out against Araloo because he never takes a game long. He always pushes in the mid game, and he plays the game by... He can do so much with such a fine margin that if you fall 180 food behind to get out of tier 3, you're just gonna get walked over. Okay, now this is interesting. Araloo going for a fast mill. It's forced to sell by QQ, putting down 2 more warrens. He's just going to get it back though, so not much is going to be lost. But QQ is now going to go for a quick pair of tier 2s. If Araloo moves in and puts some moles up here, he could possibly push on these warrens, stop them from building. But he doesn't scout them. He might think that QQ is still going to mole, and he wouldn't be wrong. QQ is hiding up here with the mole warren. But what's he going to do with it? Because he doesn't know about this, which farms are building. He's not going to go straight for the mill, surely. Okay, he sees the farm building though. He should be able to get on that. Oh, he's actually going to be able to get all the warrens as well. Or not. Araloo was moving his army out, but is forced to turn around. So QQ has actually got some serious damage there. He's got 120 food. He lost a couple of moles, but that's still an 80 food profit. And with both of his tier 2 out, he can probably just push. Araloo has nothing but 6 squirrels. He sold a squirrel warren to get out his own tier 2. This is Araloo would be... Sorry, not Araloo. QQ would be a fool if he passed up this opportunity. He's putting down his own moles to build up some quick reinforcements. He wants to move in before Araloo starts getting his own tier 2. He can probably manage 1 skunk and 1 chameleon, but he doesn't want all of them to come out. He's got 1 quick farm. He gets his 2 chameleons on Araloo's. He kills a skunk. He's going to lose his own skunk. And Araloo loses 2 farms, so he doesn't hold that off particularly well, but does survive. Manages to get both his chameleons up and actually is ahead in army at the moment. So QQ is going to have to retreat, but his army's in the wrong position. This chameleon is going to do so much damage, instantly swatting down the skunk, because QQ didn't retreat all the way back. So he wasn't able to heal. Oh, this could be a terrible throw by QQ. He's got his own chameleon up on the front lines. Trades for one of Araloo's. Araloo gets a couple of... I think Araloo gets 1 squirrel warren. And is forced back. Araloo is 1 farm behind, having 1 farm on the expansion. QQ manages to pick up another farm. He's going to probably lose a skunk for it though. He does. think QQ just needs to expand. That's what he's doing. These farms QQ got were still pretty valuable. They hadn't used up all their food. This one on the corner had barely used up any. But Araloo is holding on. He's got 3 farms placed down on his new mill. He's actually nearly ended up ahead in eco. He would have if QQ hadn't expanded. And with the 5-minute mark coming in, actually the farm count evens up. Araloo still has 3 non-fallowed farms on his main, same as... Oh no, QQ has a 4th, but still. The fallowing actually can sort of even it up depending on which farms were killed. If you killed the ones that were going to fallow anyway, then it actually sort of acts like a reset. Now QQ's got a good movement in. He was able to get his skunk gas down. He picks off 1 pig, but it's a pig that was probably going to die anyway. Araloo is trying to get out some snakes. I'm not sure how the hell he's managed to afford all of this. Because he's been constantly losing economy. QQ is somehow only 1 farm ahead. Like, how has Araloo managed this? Araloo is ahead on army right now. And only 1 farm behind. It's not perfectly equal because if you don't lose farms, you have all that time before the farm fallows where you were mining. Oh my god, Araloo's moving in. QQ sells his snakes, and that's an instant 2 dead pigs, along with some really good skunk gas. And now Araloo's way ahead in army again, way ahead in economy. I think Araloo's going to do this. He's going to get this mill. That's 9 tags, 10 tags. That mill's dead. QQ is starving. Somehow Araloo manages to hold on, losing all of these farms. Plus he lost the farm that was building here, and a warren, from the mole attack. But QQ is the one who's ended up losing. I think QQ... I mean, Araloo just timed it really well. Somehow he managed to get a tier 2 out. He managed to get out his snakes. And he pushed in while QQ was building his own snakes. But the real marvellous thing is that somehow Araloo was able to stay even on economy. That genuinely does not make mathematical sense to me. How is Araloo so ahead on army and so even on economy despite losing 4-5 farms? And that's GG. Araloo takes it with a clean 4-0 sweep. Man, Araloo is scary. I guess Araloo mainly won the fights, but he won that first fight. Like, QQ lost a lot more than Araloo did. And QQ lost his skunk again because he didn't retreat all the way. If QQ had retreated after that first fight all the way back to base and started ecoing up, defend from within his own warrens, maybe it would have been a different game. Is it best of 9? Oh, shit. So we got one more. Oh, so we do. Alright. I did not know. QQ versus Araloo, and QQ giving up on the meta, going Squirrel, Mole, Skunk, Snake, Fox, Wire. Araloo sticking with the meta. Yeah, but I don't read that thing. I spent most of my time just trying to get it up. That thing gave me hell. Suppose I should have known, though. Okay, can QQ make the comeback happen? It's a very close set. Very close bases. Whoever gets their first expansion is going to be at a significant advantage. QQ selling 2 farms there due to the mole threat. Putting them back down. But Araloo is going to get just a little bit of economic advantage because he gets up to 7 farms first. Okay, Araloo going straight for skunks. I expect this is probably going to end up in a mole push again. Like, given how close the opponents are. QQ will be hoping to set up a barbed wire line around here. He's got decent terrain for it. It's not too unreasonable that he could barbed wire up like this entire entranceway into his base. Araloo actually expanding backwards. That's going to make it easier for QQ to take this base. And then he barbed wire across, get some snakes behind that. He should be able to hold. The mole push will still be strong, but it won't be unbeatable. The snakes just kind of really make it difficult to fight mole pushes, because the moles take the hit, but they've got so much health that the poison doesn't kill them quickly. They still get in and do damage. QQ's coming in with his snake. He needs to make sure he doesn't lose his commander. He needs to make sure he doesn't lose his snake. He loses his snake. He does get a farm, but he lost his snake. He's got a second one up. Can he hold? He needs to kill all the squirrels, and then his snake can take care of the skunks. But his snake can't handle all these squirrels by itself. He holds on reasonably, mill tanking a decent bit of damage. He puts down a farm. Probably wants to start setting up his wire. He's going for 3 farms on his expansion. Araloo might want to move in. He's only got 1 farm on his. Araloo's put down a mole. Okay, here comes the barbed wire. It's not quite built yet, though. And moles can go through it, but they can't go through it that far. The snake poison is starting to stack up. Barbed wire makes it very hard to micro any sort of clump of units. QQ, even if he wasn't taking the best trades there, he held evenly while being ahead on farms, so he should be pretty good. He's not going to be able to prevent the scout of that fox. So Araloo is either going to eco up or move in. He puts down... He already had the falcons building. He's putting down extra moles. A lot of barbed wire coming down from QQ. But still, barbed wire being 10 food. All of this barbed wire is only 150. Now these moles will clear out the barbed wire fairly well, but they all do trade. The skunk gas, the barbed wire slowing down the units is going to make it difficult for the tier 1 of QQ to survive the skunk gas. And the falcons can shoot from over top of the barbed wire, but QQ is going to hold. And now the fox is building, and this is promising. It's very hard to get to tier 3 against Araloo, but if you can, you might be in a good position. Now, you won't be perfect because Araloo still has snakes. He's getting them out now. They're his anti-tier 3 unit, and they're pretty good at killing tier 3s. Especially with all this barbed wire here. The fox gets caught on the barbed wire, slowed down just a tad. Enough for one snake to get one tag on it. Could be disastrous for QQ. QQ's got pretty good fox micro, and Araloo relies very heavily on tier 2, which the fox is good at killing. Okay, there's a basically empty farm there. Mole there, another mole. Moving forward with the snakes. Okay, Araloo doesn't have any pigeons to sort of counteract this fox damage. With enough pigeons, you can take the hit on a snake or a skunk and pull them back to heal up, so that your fox never actually kills anything. Oh, there's one tag on the fox. One of the snakes goes down. Still a pretty even trade in army. Oh, that's a dead fox. Okay, QQ should have just been suiciding that fox then. Once it's dead, once it's got 2 tags on it, the fox is dead. He should have just moved it forward and killed whatever he could. He's trying to get out another fox. That's going to be difficult. There's an open path now for Araloo to move through where there's no barbed wire. I don't think QQ can hold on here. This mill is going to go down, and that's going to knock QQ into starvation. And now Araloo takes it. It's a best of 9, not a first to 9. Right? Yes. QQ was getting close in those last 2, but one miss micro with the fox is enough to kill it. And Araloo takes the game. Araloo progresses. Man, I don't know who's going to beat Araloo. Didn't someone manage to beat Araloo in the lead up? Alright, now do I have any other games to cast? Lego did. Yeah, I thought it was Lego, I just didn't want to say it. Sound like an idiot if I was wrong. Okay. But is Lego Man... Who are the quarterfinalists? For the Premier Division, you got Araloo QQ, Mochaccino Jacoby, Gentleman Jet Erickson, Melvin Mishi. So the one person who beat Araloo isn't actually in the bracket to fight Araloo. So is that it? Is it a 40-minute stream? Or are there other games? What about Sudoku? We could do Sudoku. I'd do a bit of Sudoku, assuming that we don't have anything else to do. The meta deck is very meta. Like, we've seen it in the PVCs, we've seen it in the League. The meta is really starting to centralize around that Squirrel Mole 4 tier 2 deck. Okay, I guess. Guess we don't have anything to do. I'll see if I can start getting Song of Crest to work. Just in case anyone wants to do that. Is anyone on the ladder?